Hi, everyone who's tuning in. My name is Jess, and you're here at Creative Fridays. And I am so super excited that I have Kate Northrup here today. Welcome, Kate.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. And so Kate is, how would I describe Kate? She's a creative entrepreneur. She's like a messenger of freedom and financial freedom in particular. And she's been so inspiring to me over the years. I've known you for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
And just in seeing how you have really created this life of freedom for yourself and doing what you want to do. And because I'm working with a lot of creative types who are seeking that kind of freedom, and, it's always that question of like, how do we do what we love and still pay the rent, right?
Yeah.
And not have to like sacrifice one or the other.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be really fascinating to get your take on that and share more about what you do.
Yeah. Well, so I'm just actually taking a little note here because that's such a great question. How do we do what we love and still pay the rent? So money is about value, and money is it's a stand-in for what we value. It's also, we receive money in exchange for value we've given in the world. And when we're able to do what we do in an energized, passionate, loving way, we're ultimately able to give more value and receive more in exchange. But here's the sort of like what I've seen as the fallacy is this idea, do what you love and the money will follow.
I've heard that before.
I think ultimately that's true, but that what you love has to be something that adds value to other people. Like, you're not going to get paid just to do what you love. Like, I really like to color in mandala coloring books. Nobody's going to pay me to do that. It's not really adding value to the world. I find it quite meditative and lovely, but like, it doesn't add value to the world. Now, maybe if I made my own mandala coloring books and like did some sort of art project around it, I'm sure I could parlay that into an income. Yeah. But you really have to, when it comes to money, you have to be thinking about not only what do you love, but how can you add value? So your creativity adds a lot of value to the world, but it's got to be focused on giving value. And so instead of saying, do what you love and the money will follow, I like to say, love what you do and the money will follow, which is the slightly different thing.
Exactly. And that was one of my favorite quotes of yours from the Money Love course that I did. And it was really an eye-opener, because a lot of people think it's the other way around, that, yeah, just do what you love and then the money comes. And it's like, yeah, but why isn't it coming more then?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have so many examples of people who do what they love and are not getting paid well for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would hate to keep spreading that around because I'm just not sure that it's entirely true.
Exactly.
But I also don't want to discourage people because it is absolutely possible to get paid well to do what you love, but sometimes that requires infusing what you're doing now with more love in order to get there.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, another challenge of creative types and artists is that there's usually a multifaceted love. So like, we can love to do, I don't know, making mosaics and painting and doing, I don't know, skydiving or something and all these like different things. And it's like, well, where do I focus? Like, how do I decide what I'm going to do? Did you ever run into that? Because I know that you also have like many different loves and many different talents.
Well, I have it right now, right? So I have this book coming out, Money, a Love Story, which is like a big focus for, because it's coming out, so you got to like pay attention to that. And then I have my USANA business, which is a nutritional company I've been partnered with for 12 years. And then I have courses that I teach, like the Money Love course that you took. And so it's like, okay, there's these options. And some advice I got from Danielle Laporte way back was, focus on the thing that's going to bring money in the door the fastest. It's fairly obvious. So go for the low-hanging fruit. So like if somebody's commissioned you to do a painting, and they are ready to write you a check for $5,000 or, $10,000 or however much it is, do that, and it's like obvious. And don't go into a whole like creative meltdown and like identity crisis around like, oh, well, I don't do art for commission or whatever. It's like, show up, love what you do. But I really think that you want to focus on the intersection between my favorite quote is a Frederick Buechner quote that says, the place God calls you to is the place where your deepest gladness meets the world's greatest need. So it's like, where is the intersection between what brings you the most joy and what the world needs? And that's going to be your sweet spot, and that's where you should focus.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. And when you're talking to, it makes me think of having multiple loves also and being creative in different ways. I also feel like it can fuel like the main projects that you're doing, right? Because we can still keep these other loves on the side and creative projects and whatever we're doing, even though we might be one at a time focusing on a certain thing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There are people I know who are like, focus on one thing for 5 years until you've nailed it and it's where it wants to be and whatever. Mm-hmm. If I did that, I think I would die. The idea of only doing one thing just literally feels like death to me. So, but I do think for some people that's where you need to be. I was interviewing Daniel Pink, who wrote To Sell Is Human and A Whole New Mind. Yeah. And he's this super smart guy. And he said he's a, he's a serial processor. Mm-hmm. As opposed to a parallel processor. So a serial processor, he said, like when he's working on a project, that's basically all he can think, eat, sleep, dream for that period of time. Versus I'm a parallel processor. Like I can easily do one project in the morning and move to another thing in the afternoon and then go to another thing at night. So it just depends on who you are. And I don't think one way is good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I wonder if that has anything to do with like masculine and feminine energy, with like women being more like multifaceted, whereas men's brains are more wired to do one thing at a time. I don't know.
I feel like it probably does.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And just for my own curiosity, are you dancing at all? What are you doing with dance?
That's a great question. That is sort of the ongoing question. I was taking some dance classes in my hometown here, and that was really fun. But I realized, like, the truth is, I went to a ballet class, and I was just, like, annoyed by it. Like, it's just the technique and everything. It's really not me. Like, I just want to go and shake. So I think I'm just going to start going to Zumba. And, like, I can show up once a week, and I don't have to, like, learn steps over a series of weeks because the way my schedule is, I'm just, like, popping in and out. But I got to dance, and I got to find a way to do it that works with the way my lifestyle is. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I've heard great things about Zumba. I know myself in the beginning, I was a little bit skeptical. I was like,
oh, totally.
Oh, God, it's one of those, like...
I was like, that's so not sophisticated.
We're gonna work out. Yeah. I was like,
but
so anti it.
You're going to love it. It's so much fun.
I know. And years ago, I took a class, and it was kind of cool. And then, like, more and more people I know are getting certified to teach and doing all these things. And I'm very curious. And I think it's kind of cool. So you'll have to tell me how it goes once you do it.
Yeah.
I'm always, interested in that stuff. And I think just with dancing, I've noticed for myself, the more that I've been dancing over the years, the more creative I feel in other parts of my life. And even if, like, dance isn't the main focus, right? Like, I kind of left my dream of being in a dance company a long time ago. It's not really what I feel called to do anymore, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to stop dancing. And
exactly.
I think it's so important for us.
It really is. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. And to close up, like, is there, like, I don't know, can you give people some kind of, like, assignment or something to do, in addition to buying your book, of course, which...
That would be great if you could buy my book.
I would totally recommend that. Money.
I'm going to give you an assignment that's free, and you can do right now, and that is get into the practice. If you want to increase your income and increase the value you're giving in the world, so really be of service, the best way to do that is to start by valuing yourself. So today, before you go to bed and in some subsequent days, like make this a regular practice, write down 3 ways that you added value today, or some combination of these two things. 3 reasons you value yourself, like 3 ways in which you value yourself. And you want to build that muscle of self-value so that throughout the day you're beginning to notice, oh, I added value here, and oh, look, there's an opportunity to add value, and oh, hey, like this is how I'm valuable right now. And when you do that, you show up and shine more brightly in the world. Your creativity will flow more. You'll have opportunities that wouldn't happen otherwise, and that's the name of the game. So value yourself, and then also go to moneyaLoveStory.com and you can get some free goodies there. And yeah, that's it.
That's great. Awesome. And we'll put the link below so you guys can access all of that stuff really easily. Yay! Can we do like a happy dance? Happy dance for money, love, freedom.
Yes, money, love, happy dance.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks,
welcome,
Jess.
Kate. Thank you so much. So excited for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.